Well, Friday morning and our briefing with not just the Chief Minister but also the Ministers, and today we're going to talk economic development. Mr. Shimmin, and first of all, obviously Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
You're kind of bouncing us off into a bit of a good news feel story.
I think it's important that we do actually try and get the message across that the island is still doing well. This time of year it's useful to look at what we've done, see how we've performed, see how we can do better for the future. So we reckon we've grown at approximately 3% growth in real terms this year, and that's quite remarkable in comparison to everybody around us. But we're not settling on that. We're more ambitious that next year we should be looking at 4% plus real term growth, and I think that's something that we should be promoting on the island as being a level of success combined with a still very low level of unemployment.
Who do you gauge the Isle of Man with? Is it the UK, is it the Channel Islands, or
well, the OECD is one of the big benchmarks of the sort of developed world. I think Jersey, Guernsey are a more comparable, useful exercise, and certainly both of those are now classed as being in recession. So our main competitors are not doing well financially. Unemployment is rising in those areas like here, but certainly from my point of view, I think unemployment is one of the main targets we've got for this next 12 months.
And I wouldn't be doing my job if I just let you sit there and say everything's jolly, because clearly it's not. People are losing jobs, unemployment's up again. So give us your take on it. Where's those niche markets where we are doing so well, and where do you want to do better?
I think the diversity we've got on the Isle of Man is the key issue which differentiates us from competitors. So we have a manufacturing base that the Channel Islands will never have. We have a diversity into the e-gaming and the shipping and all of the issues that everybody's heard about. So we understand that some sectors have done very, very well in the last couple of years. Other sectors like construction, retail, service sectors are really in the doldrums, and that's something that we've got to work on.
Do you want people still knocking on your door? Are you interested in giving them money, loans, some sort of deal?
Yeah, I mean, we live in a competitive world, so we have financial assistance that's available for many companies. We use that in order to invest, but we link it to the job opportunities it creates. So we're not throwing money at businesses, but we want to work with them, build up a business case which says, you come to us with proposals that we will support financially, and your part of that is to create job opportunities. So that's been going on for years. In difficult trading times, we've done remarkably well. Is it easy? No, and there are things that we know we're going to have to do better. The NEETs is one of the issues that's affecting everybody, but we've done 150 placements and half of those kids have got jobs. And that's remarkable. That's 75 of those young people, direct result of the schemes put in by the private sector working with government, have got jobs. But we've got to do a lot more on the long-term unemployment. It's not complacent, but also let's get in balance. Compared to everywhere else, we should be actually saying we've done a remarkably good job as an island, not just government, but as an island.
I mean, 3% growth sends out the message that we're not in recession, clearly. Does that not then put pressure on you for people wanting pay rises and people thinking, well, let's keep the good times rolling?
I think you've got to separate the issue between the economy, which is what we're dealing with, and the fiscal challenges facing government. So you have a situation where everybody understands the real challenge to balance the government budgets. That's at one level. So the pay rises and the control over salaries is an important factor. We are competitive price-wise for comparison with the Channel Islands. We need to maintain that, because what we've seen in the past is wages, house prices and other things have run away to a level that wasn't sustainable. I think now what we're doing is working with the business community to get very much back onto a level that is sustainable going forward.
Does this see you increasing your air miles account again this year? I mean, doing a lot of travelling and waving the flag? As
a department, yes, individually when necessary. So we've just come back from China, India, Dubai, and the reason for that is that these jurisdictions, they're not in recession. This is where the money and the wealth is. This is where the growth and the opportunity potential is. So if we're not out there fighting for business, then we will not be able to create the jobs back home.
And where are the new jobs going to really come from? I mean, there's no movement in the banking sector. That's still, in fact, on a decline. I mean, no new banks opened here for a long time. Is it any offshore business, or do you see it in what you've already said, these other growth areas only?
No, I think that the diversity is something that until you actually spend a lot of time in my department to understand the diversity, because all of the sectors that can grow will be pushing to get them to grow. Banking and the financial services sector is critical to the success of the Isle of Man. We know they're going through difficult times, like with the fiduciaries, we'll be going through challenging times with the FATCA announcements we've done before Christmas. But all of those areas still have opportunities, but we'll be expecting that there's some contraction in jobs in those areas. But at the same time, there's significant growth opportunities in all other areas, whether that be manufacturing. We brought 7 new companies in the engineering and the aerospace world to the Isle of Man this year. That'll continue. Each of those will be creating jobs. E-gaming, we're up to nearly 50 companies. Each of those will be growing, hopefully, more jobs. Whole ICT and e-business is an area that everybody is going into, and our telecoms are great. So there's lots of areas. There isn't one solution, but across all of the sectors, we expect to see maximising the growth potential.
This time next year, when we sit down and have another chat, what do you feel the situation will be then?
Hopefully I'll chat to you before then, but I expect you to hold me to account. 4% plus growth next year. I believe we'll achieve that. Unemployment levels, I think we'll have dealt to a significant level with the long-term unemployed. I also think that we'll be in a position where the Isle of Man continues to be succeeding against a backdrop of a recessionary area in the UK and Europe, which is still causing us challenges. So we've got to make sure that we identify where the market is, because in the UK and EU, our main territory for business in the past, they're still going to be in problems this time next year. I hope that we will be still flying against that in order to be successful.